the future.
Hello everyone, Joel here. Today we are looking at the absolute best, most highly anticipated drops of the year in our massive roundup of the 70 new isometric RPGs of 2026 you can play right now. From massive expansions that just dropped to fresh 1.0 releases and early access gems, these titles are currently annihilating our sleep schedules this year.
Her heart was in the right place, but it was a terrible burden to bear alone.
Kicking things off, we are heading right back to Sanctuary to punch Mephisto squarely in the face with this brand new expansion. Dropping this past April, this isn't just a minor patch, it brings us the gorgeous Skovos Isles and finally answers our prayers by introducing the Warlock class and bringing back the fan-favorite Paladin. Seriously, nothing feels better than smiting demons with a holy shield or turning Hell's own magic right back against it. And praise the high heavens, they finally added a fully customizable loot filter. No more squinting at endless piles of white trash gear on the floor, it genuinely reinvigorates the endgame grind. Switching gears, we have the absolute mad lads at Radical Fish Games, the same geniuses who brought us Crosscode, dropping their new 2.5D action RPG into early access just last month. The combat here is buttery smooth and ridiculously fluid, letting you juggle enemies with stylish combos that make you feel like an absolute gaming god. Visually, the pixel art is just drop-dead gorgeous, but fair warning, the puzzles are back. They will either make you feel like a certified Mensa genius or have you questioning your elementary school geometry skills. It has a wonderfully charming vibe and is already shaping up to be a masterpiece. Now, if you enjoy pain and suffering, turn off the lights and get ready to cry. This game, which released its early access in April, is a hardcore dark fantasy dungeon crawler that is unforgiving, gritty, and features an atmosphere thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. The moment you step into these grim depths, you realize the game does not care about your feelings at all. You will die, you will learn from it, and then you'll instantly die again because you forgot about a pressure plate. The combat is incredibly methodical, carrying terrifying weight behind every swing. It's purely for the masochists out there. Ever wanted the tabletop board game experience without spending an hour setting up cardboard tokens or dealing with that one friend who refuses to read the rulebook? Well, this brand new June release completely nails the Fantasy Flight Games universe in a gorgeous turn-based tactical RPG. It gives you all the joy of a physical game night with zero friction. The combat throws out steep learning curves for accessible mechanics like elevation and positioning, leading up to insanely satisfying multi-character synergy attacks. The best part? It features drop-in mid-dungeon co-op, so your buddy can jump online exactly when you are about to wipe.
Hold the line!
And humans live tucked away in a corner of the realm.
Square Enix really said, let's take the classic Zelda formula, give it a massive energy drink, and slap our gorgeous HD 2D paint job all over it. Released just a few days ago, this title ditches the usual turn-based menus for snappy real-time combat where you're constantly swapping weapons and tossing bombs. You explore intricate shrines, solve environmental puzzles with your fairy sidekick, and hunt down magical artifacts. The internet hasn't stopped joking about the continent being named Philadelphia, which sounds like trying to say Philadelphia with a mouthful of peanut butter. But jokes aside, the exploration feels incredibly rewarding. Moving right along, imagine if Dark Souls and Diablo got together and had a beautiful, deeply punishing baby. This game shifts the typical hack and slash formula into a much more deliberate stamina-based combat system from a top-down perspective. You can't just mindlessly spam your left click here, my friends. You will literally get parried by a random rat, and you'll have to sit there and enjoy the game's breathtaking, painterly art style while your character gets completely obliterated. The weight behind every weapon swing is immaculate, making every single enemy encounter feel like a high-stakes duel. It's brutally hard and incredibly addictive. If you've been itching for that classic 1990s CRPG experience but prefer your wasteland among the stars, this is your jam. You essentially crash land on a desolate planet and immediately get to work building a space stronghold. Instead of dealing with irradiated scorpions, you're handling corrupt megacorporations and uniting backwater planets. The mechanics heavily lean into deep character building and non-combat skills, letting you talk, hack, or intimidate your way out of trouble. Plus, you can build a bounty terminal in your base to hunt down space criminals. It feels wonderfully nostalgic while bringing enough modern polish to keep you glued to your seat. Before we go into the list, I want to give you my recommendation for some of the best deals in instant gaming right now, especially if you're tight on budget. We knew that instant gaming always give us so many crazy deals for your favorite games, like these titles for example. I mean, can you believe these prices? If you love RPGs, there's no way you never heard of these masterpieces, and to think that you can get them under $10 or even $5, it's an absolute steal. All you have to do is just click my link in the description below, start searching for your favorite games and use the activation code on your chosen platform. By using my link, you're not only saving tons of money, but also helping me to support this channel. Alright then, let's get back into the list. What if you were playing Dungeons & Dragons, but your dungeon master was deeply cynical and your own stats constantly yelled at you? Released this past March, this is basically Disco Elysium set in a bizarre post-arcane punk world. You play as a miserable cleric trying to solve a political conspiracy alongside a goblin sidekick. The writing is absolute narrative gold, forcing you to debate yourself through dialogue trees while letting the internal dice completely ruin your best laid plans. Rolling a natural one at the worst possible moment usually leads to the most hilarious outcomes. It's all about chaotic choices and laughing at your own misery. Gather your party and prepare to physically portage a boat across a cursed frontier. This indie brawler RPG throws you onto the remote island of Invimona with a completely randomly generated party of companions. That means your group dynamic is guaranteed to be uniquely dysfunctional every single playthrough. Depending on their random stats, your party members will actually bicker, bond, and react differently to the wild beasts and grave robbers you are constantly beating up. Taking care of your boat-carrying pack animal while exploring gives the game a fantastic road trip vibe. The combat is chaotic, and the open-world mystery constantly rewards your curiosity. Because we as a gaming community simply refuse to let go of the year 2001, Blizzard dropped this massive update back in February, and guess what? We finally get to play as a warlock. You can now command Hellspawn or channel Eldritch magic directly into your weapons while running through completely overhauled terror zones. This edition proves that nostalgia is a hell of a drug, but it smartly injects actual modern quality of life updates to keep it fresh. We are talking new rune words, an account-wide chronicle tracking system, and yes, dedicated stash tabs so we don't have to play inventory Tetris anymore. Imagine a classic PS1-era survival horror violently collides with grid-based tactical strategy. Dropped in May, this gem has you managing two highly stressed operatives scavenging a ruined biohazard metropolis. You are constantly counting your bullets, sweating over grid placements, and desperately trying to extract materials without getting your face eaten by flesh-eating mutants. It captures that claustrophobic, I have one shotgun shell left and 3 enemies in front of me tension perfectly, but filters it through turn-based decision-making. It's incredibly stressful, deeply nostalgic, and successfully marries two completely different genres into a wonderfully terrifying experience. For our sci-fi fans, this is the ultimate long-haul space trucker of tactical RPGs. It's been cooking in the oven for quite a while, but it delivers on an absolutely massive scale. You get deep, granular ship-to-ship space combat seamlessly combined with intense squad-based ground tactics. The sheer amount of customization available for your mercs and your ship is enough to make any spreadsheet-loving gaming nerd weep tears of absolute joy. It's a slow burn for sure, but the progression feels incredibly rewarding as you explore the galaxy, trade, fight, and slowly build your ragtag crew into an unstoppable cosmic force. If you grew up loving classic JRPGs, but you are absolutely tired of dedicating one party member exclusively to spamming healing magic, you are going to love this one. Released back in April, this indie passion project from Steve Gell throws you into a massive narrative conspiracy. The biggest mechanical twist here is the fact that there is literally no traditional healing. Instead, combat revolves around a hyper-aggressive focus system, brutal combo chains, and active timing mechanics. If you miss a crucial parry, you're just going to have to eat that damage and cry about it. It forces you to stay heavily on the offensive. Pair that high-stakes tension with real-time duels and replacing standard gear with a wild crest customization system, and it plays out as a shockingly fresh, adrenaline-pumping take on a beloved formula.
Rare were those who remained impervious to the depraved whispers.
Sometimes you don't want to read a novel's worth of dialogue, you just want to turn your brain completely off and explode dragons into colorful loot piñatas. The recent release of this action RPG lets you and 3 friends hack your way through massive hordes of scales and fire. The biggest selling point here is the Ancestral Grid, a massive skill system that is an absolute dream for theory crafters looking to build the most broken character possible. You get to upgrade your hub city, unlock absurd new elemental powers, and you even get a pet wormling to raise. It's mindless, flashy, chaotic fun in the best way possible. If you want to trade your magical fireballs for sleek trench coats, this title focuses purely on Cold War-style espionage. It completely ditches traditional sneaking and shooting mechanics to focus entirely on the heavy drama of being a spy. You play as a tormented operative trying to untangle a massive web of political intrigue. Every conversation is a tense, high-stakes battle of wits where your choices drastically twist the storyline. It brilliantly captures that specific aesthetic of smoking a cigarette in the rain while regretting every life choice you've ever made. The storytelling is gripping, dark, and offers some of the absolute best player agency available today.
Beautiful time, too.
Brightly coloured soldiers, neatly regimented behind coils.
Allowed me to pinpoint the final location.
The ultimate tabletop simulator that actually enforces the rules correctly is back in early access as of March. With this highly anticipated sequel, we have left the old maps behind and are now exploring the brand new continent of Neokos. The developers absolutely beefed up the production value, bringing in some heavy-hitting voice actors to breathe life into the story. Combat still uses that delightfully faithful 5E rule set, meaning positioning and high ground are everything. Plus, the character creator is wild. You can finally roll that halfling paladin sorcerer multi-class you've always wanted without your real-life dungeon master sighing heavily and rolling their eyes at you.
By the dreamer's will.
And finally, the absolute behemoth, the final boss of clicking things until your monitor explodes in particle effects. This game takes everything that made the original a masterpiece and turns it up to 11. The combat feels ridiculously crunchy, letting you dodge roll through massive boss attacks before retaliating with screen-clearing spells. Yes, the passive skill tree is still terrifying enough to require a PhD to fully understand, but the deep class customization is completely unmatched by anything else on the market. It feels incredibly visceral, the economy is thriving, and it solidifies the fact that your soul once again completely belongs to the Grinding Gear team.
Lightning!